इधर 4 उंगली उठेंगे, ये जान लेना चाहिए।
And moving on to some breaking news coming in from Maharashtra, where ahead of the Maharashtra elections, there is a big boost for Ajit Pawar faction, where the Supreme Court has said that the NCP clock symbol will remain with Ajit Pawar. However, with disclaimer, the next hearing is slated on November 6th, is what we know. I have my colleague Alisha joining me live from the newsroom. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big breaking news coming in from Maharashtra, where in a big win for Ajit Pawar, for the NCP faction of Ajit Pawar, the Supreme Court has said that the clock symbol for the upcoming Maharashtra Assembly elections will be used by Ajit Pawar faction, with a disclaimer, of course, and that is it was a matter of contest in courts and was subjected to final outcome of the petition filed by Sharad Pawar. Now remember, on March 19 and April 4, ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, the court had directed NCP to include a disclaimer in all campaign materials that they use of clock symbol, and that was sub judice. Today the court directed Ajit Pawar to file an undertaking to the effect that the previous orders will be followed for the state assembly elections as well. Now issuing notice on an application filed by Sharad Pawar alleging violation of conditions by Ajit Pawar group, the court asked the latter to file a reply along with reiteration of earlier undertaking to the effect that directions in previous orders shall be meticulously complied with even during the process of state assembly elections. So there we have a big win for Ajit Pawar in that matter when it comes to Maharashtra assembly elections, where the NCP, where the Supreme Court, I beg your pardon, has given the nod to NCP Ajit Pawar faction to use the clock symbol. We have Alisha live joining us from the newsroom. Alisha, share more details. What was the timeline of the case? What was the dispute all about, wherein it is a big win for NCP leader Sharad Pawar? I beg your pardon, NCP leader Ajit Pawar.
Well, Tanisha, indeed, it's a big win for Ajit Pawar, because here is the Supreme Court who has allowed Ajit Pawar-led faction of the NCP to retain a clock symbol for the upcoming Maharashtra Assembly. But Supreme Court here has categorically mentioned that Ajit Pawar can retain the clock symbol, but with a disclaimer, and have also asked to file fresh undertaking by November 6th. This is over the violation of the direction that has been given by the Supreme Court. So the court has clearly mentioned that it is where both the factions, specifically now Ajit Pawar, who has been allowed to retain the clock symbol for the upcoming assembly election, they will need to file the undertaking stating that they will not violate any direction that has been given by the Supreme Court. If it does so, the Supreme Court might take suo motu contempt against the faction. But yes, it's a big win, because it is a petition that was filed by Sharad Pawar over the clock symbol right after the split in the NCP, where Ajit Pawar had his own faction and clearly mentioned that the party name and the symbol will go with Ajit Pawar. But here, when the challenge has been taken by Sharad Pawar faction, when the petition was filed against Ajit Pawar faction, clearly mentioning that the Sharad Pawar is the president of the party, and NCP name and the symbol should go with Sharad Pawar. But here the Supreme Court, even earlier where the EC has given the name, party name and symbol to Ajit Pawar, clearly mentioning that the Ajit Pawar has the number of the MLAs and the other party members, whether it is MP and the other legislative members. So the party name and the symbol was given, and the same has been mentioned by Supreme Court, clearly stating that Ajit Pawar can retain clock symbol with disclaimer.
Right, Alisha. Thank you for sharing us all those updates. We'll keep coming back to you on the story. But for